welcome to InfoHub Extended. Thanks for joining us. Aquaculture is the farming of sea animals or plants, which includes breeding, raising, and harvesting in all types of water environments in controlled conditions. It is used to produce food and commercial products, restore and create healthier habitats, and rebuild threatened or endangered species populations. Here in Guyana, aquaculture is a relatively new concept. However, some form of fisheries enhancement that is similar to aquaculture have been practiced for many years.
Dogs again, and no mailbox.
Don't let this happen to you.
I'm so happy that I get this mailbox. Now I get an my mails. You know how much times GPL come and disconnect me life because I couldn't get my bill?
I will notice. Anyways, girl, the post office encouraging all residents to install a mailbox so they can improve their service to us.
Get your mailbox today and help the Guyana Post Office to serve you better.
Staying on treatment can lead to a normal and healthy life.
You're looking good, my friend.
I don't need this anymore.
You safe, bro. You don't need more pills, boy.
Looking your best or having a low viral load does not mean you no longer have HIV. There is no cure, but treatment helps you to stay healthy and live a long and full life.
It's just a little cough, babes. It's just the exercise, buddy. You good.
Remain on treatment once you've started. Remember, don't share pills or take someone else's pills. Staying on the medication helps in improving quality of life, decreases the risk of HIV transmission, and can lead to suppression of the virus.
The first reliable accounts of attempts at aquaculture in Guyana goes back to the early East Indian inhabitants of the Corentyne coast near the Berbice River. For over 100 years, they practiced this system of fishery enhancement, which is similar to aquaculture. The procedure involved the legal or illegal opening of the sea defenses and taking advantage of tidal inflows when juveniles, larvae, and eggs get trapped in coastal polders near the foreshore and are allowed to grow and mature to marketable sizes. However, freshwater aquaculture began in the late 1940s with the introduction of the Mozambique tilapia. Initially, it was thought that fish culture could be undertaken through integration with agriculture, such as fish produced in irrigated rice fields or flooded sugarcane fields. However, none of these ideas were carried forward at the time. There were renewed interest in freshwater aquaculture in the 1970s with the establishment of 3 facilities by the Department of Fisheries and a joint International Development Research Center and Guyana Sugar Corporation, Gaisuco venture. However, due to the lack of management capabilities and the human resources required for operations, the project fell through.
Fast track to present day, aquaculture is said to be the fastest growing sector within the international economy, according to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. The FAO estimates that by 2050, fish from aquaculture will be more than 50% on the market. So what has been happening in Guyana as it relates to aquaculture is the facilitation of training programs.
At the moment, aquaculture products are not exported. Therefore, the main markets are local domestic markets. Farmers usually sell directly to consumers and no labeling is required on aquaculture produce. However, the government, through the Ministry of Agriculture's Fisheries Department, is seeking to change this by offering training to farmers and persons interested in aquaculture. One such training program was an aquaculture technology course funded by the People's Republic of China. The participants included persons from the private sector, government, civil society, the security services, and students. Addressing participants at the opening session of the training exercise, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Delma Ned, said at the moment the fishing sector was experiencing challenges which resulted in the country's fishing resources dwindling significantly.
The promotion of aquaculture in Guyana is of great priority, and we are blessed with land, fresh water, and reasonably favorable conditions to be able to make aquaculture production a significant part of our economic earnings.
Counselor of the Chinese Embassy in Guyana, Chen Jilai, lauded the cooperation between Guyana and China, which dates back to 1972 when diplomatic relations were established. Mr. Chen says an assessment team visited Guyana prior to the training to fully investigate and get a grasp of what would be required during the training.
In order to have a better understanding of the training need of Guyana and ensure the smooth implementation of this training program, the program team from Fujian Institute of Oceanography has visited Guyana to conduct pre-stage field investigation and communication for the specific implementation of the training program this April. During that trip, they visited Region 6, 2, and 3 and went deep into many aquaculture farms to acknowledge the development situation of aquaculture in Guyana as much as possible.
Ambassador Forbes July, incoming director of the Department of International Cooperation at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, said the imposing and sharing of knowledge and experience was important to the further development of the sector here in Guyana.
Here in Guyana, there are possibilities for development of the subsector with the emergence of viable economic production to supply both the local market and beyond, as well as create opportunities for sustainable livelihoods.
As part of the training, participants were taken into the field to get a first-hand look at aquaculture farms and to identify species and sexes. The first farm visited was to the Sweetwater Aqua Farm at Canal No. 2, West Bank, Demerara. Nikita Duki, the fisheries officer attached to the Ministry of Agriculture, and a researcher from the Pearl River Aquaculture Research Institute in China, explained.
Our visit here this morning entailed the walkthrough of the processing plant. It entailed looking at tambaki and tilapia breeding, and the participants, which is about 56 persons, were allowed to handle the fishes, identify sexes, with the Chinese team here present and guiding the tour of the facilities.
The aquaculture farm is very big in China, and there are so many aquaculture farms. We learn some from local people of Guyana, and I think it will be useful for our China aquaculture.
The participants' second field trip was to the Satadeo Saw Aquaculture Station at Monrepo, where they were guided by Professor Chen Jiayu from the Fujian Institute of Oceanography on the proper method of testing water for foreign bodies and oxygen, which, if not done correctly, can threaten the life of fish. The course, which began on November 28, officially ended on Monday, December 10. At the graduation ceremony, Mr. Chen said the training was aimed at improving the integrated technology and management level of aquaculture in Guyana so as to promote industry development. He says, based on the enthusiasm of the participants during the course, coupled with continued collaboration between the two countries, he expects further growth of the industry.
There is an old saying in China, where there is a will, there is a way. We believe that under the leadership of the Guyanese government, especially the Ministry of Agriculture in Guyana, together with the joint efforts of the participants, business investors, and numerous farmers, aquaculture in Guyana will start a new development model so as to promote the all-around construction of fishery industrial chain in Guyana.
This year marks 46 years since Guyana and China began diplomatic relations, and according to Mr. Chen, China remains committed to further strengthening these relations in the various fields.
Under the framework of the Belt and Road Initiative, China is willing to continue to actively expand and deepen cooperation with Guyana in various fields, and continue to provide support to Guyana's social and economic development and improvement of people's livelihood within our power, so as to assist sustainable and healthy development of Guyana's economy and escalate the cooperative relationship between our two countries to a new level.
The participants of the training program came from the private sector, government agencies, civil society, security services, the University of Guyana, and farmers from across the region.
To being an agriculture science teacher that teaches both Cape and CSEC, you have to do fish. Is one of the courses on the syllabus, and pond construction is what must I say, is a challenging topic. But we were able to get in-depth information on pond construction, diseases. Sometimes the fish die in the pond, you don't know why. How they identify diseases, dissection of the fish to identify those diseases, genetic breeding, the importance of cross-breeding and how it can affect the quality of the meat. We also look at shrimp. Now, I had no idea about the aquaculture industry in terms of shrimp.
Recently started a model farm, and we have right now about 2 ponds. We intended to do 4, and this information received from the People's Republic of China has been very helpful, and it will contribute to the total assistance of our farm being productive.
This training program, as the PS and the CFO mentioned, comes very timely, because most of our aquaculture farmers they're struggling somewhat with management in most aspects, and because of our depleting marine life, we need to explore other alternatives. And China has been so successful, Asia in the whole has been so successful in aquaculture, and we can learn a lot from them, and I'm grateful that they have lent their expertise and their knowledge to assist us, not only the farmers, but the trainers, which would be us, going out into the fields to better advise our farmers, better educate our younger generation in the agriculture fields.
In the meantime, Chief Fisheries Officer Denzel Roberts urges the participants to put into practice what they learned during their 2 weeks of training. He also noted that the Fisheries Department will monitor the progress of participants as they return to their various regions.
I don't want the participants to go back and just relax, because we need to push the aquaculture. So we have the team we will go and help them, if they have any other issues, but we would like them to be active, because that's what they were here for, to learn.
You have been watching InfoHub Extended, where we took a look at the burgeoning sector of aquaculture farming in Guyana. Thanks for watching. Do join us again.
Disclosure is important. Encouraging a partner to test can be life-saving. Disclosing or encouraging a partner to test does not have to be your sole responsibility. Professionals can help.
So, you can call and tell them for me?
Yes.
Thank you.
I will tell. I just need some time.
I am HIV positive.
Don't let your doubts and fears get the best of you. Having the other person know their status is just as important as you knowing yours. Partner testing is not only for the other person, but also for you. Encourage your partners to test and disclose.